A lot of people talk about John McCain's political career. A lot of people know that he ran for president twice in 2000 and 2008. He was kind of close in 2008, but he got Obama'd. He had a pretty remarkable military career too, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's episode. He came from a Navy family, so to him, his destiny was already preordained. His father was a 4-star admiral in the Navy. His grandfather was also a Navy admiral. So naturally, he applied for the Naval Academy, and being who he was, he got in. He wasn't the best student, let's be real. He was known for getting into fights. He was known for sticking up for people that were bullied, and he would not back down from anyone when he thought they were in the wrong. That being said, he wasn't the greatest student. He finished 894th out of 898 midshipmen. But again, being who he was, it was still good enough for him to get into flight school. He finished flight school in Pensacola in 1965. He was deployed to an aircraft carrier in the South China Sea. A little known fact about this is he was actually sitting in his aircraft when a Navy missile inadvertently was discharged, hitting his fuel tank. He was injured, but it also killed 130 sailors. When he was recovering from his injuries back in Florida, he lamented to a friend that people weren't taking him seriously. Friend replied, "If you want people to take you seriously, you need to go into combat and prove yourself there." And that's what he did. He had a couple of accidents early in his career. He actually crashed his A6 Sky Raider into Corpus Christi Bay. It settled to the bottom. He was unconscious. He ended up escaping somehow and swimming to the surface. The Navy said operator error was the cause of this crash. There's another incident in Spain where he was hot dogging, flying too low, hit some power lines that actually ended up causing a blackout. Despite these, and goes on to have a pretty successful combat career in Vietnam. He has over 20 bombing runs against Vietnam. 23rd bombing run, things go awry. Just as he released his bombs over a power plant in Hanoi, some Russian SAMs rip off, and he described them as, quote, a flying telephone pole coming right at him. He ejected, broke both arms and a knee, and fell into a lake, as you can see here. This is the North Vietnamese capturing him here in this shallow lake. He repeatedly gets interrogated and beaten and doesn't receive any medical attention. It's not until somebody in the North Vietnamese army recognizes him, realizes who his father is, and gives him medical attention because they want to parade him in front of the cameras. As you can see here in the propaganda footage the North Vietnamese released, he doesn't look too good. After he recovers somewhat from his injuries, they put him in solitary confinement, where he'll stay for 2.5 years. He reportedly even attempted hanging himself twice. In 1968, he was even given the opportunity by the North Vietnamese to go home. He eventually gets released in 1973 when the Vietnam War ends. When he gets back to the States, he experiences extensive surgeries and has to go through painful rehab, but eventually he does get well enough where that he can pass his flight exam. He proceeds to spend time in the National War College. He spends time training new aviators to fly from carriers. His final military assignment was with the liaison office to the Senate in 1977, where he says, "This is where my political career really kicked off." He retired in 1981 as a captain with a Silver Star, 3 Bronze Stars, and a Distinguished Flying Cross.